Our next speaker is Andrea Guggenbickler, Public Health.
Thank you. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. I'm sure when you heard that line, you immediately thought of the 1990 hit by Salt and Peppa. And while it's a great song, wouldn't it be awesome if instead of just singing along, we felt comfortable discussing sex with one another without feeling awkward or embarrassed? Hi, I'm Andrea, and my research focuses on teen pregnancy rates and comprehensive sex education, or CSE. So what is CSE? Well, it can be defined as high-quality teaching about a variety of topics related to sex and sexuality, exploring values and beliefs about those topics, and gaining the skills that are needed to navigate relationships and manage one's own sexual health. And that sounds great, right? Unfortunately, the implementation of comprehensive sex education is alarmingly low. Only half of states even require any form of sex education at all. Think back. How much did you learn in class about sex from kindergarten through 12th grade? Seriously, you probably had 1, maybe 2 sessions of sex ed. It was probably awkward or embarrassing. Even now, those memories probably make you cringe. Am I right? This taboo around sex education is not helping our teen pregnancy rates. In fact, the US has one of the highest rates of teen pregnancy in all developed countries, 16.7 per 1,000 female teens. And rural counties stand out as contributing substantially to those rates. With over 50.7 million students projected to attend kindergarten through 12th grade in US public schools in 2022, the implementation of comprehensive sex education curricula stands to better adolescent sexual health outcomes considerably. But rural communities face both sexual health education access challenges and a lack of knowledge on how they can benefit from these programs. But that's where I come in. My team and I are aiming to answer the question, how effective is CSE in lowering teen pregnancy and birth rates in rural schools and communities? And while I do in fact sit in front of a computer all day to conduct this research, it can still have a powerful impact. The goal of this literature review is to determine how rural communities' teen pregnancy rates are influenced by comprehensive sex education provision, and then to figure out how we can make a positive change. We have the ability to create a right now solution for a right now problem. With current turmoil around abortion and education rights and policies, this research can bring a solution to the forefront of public and policymakers' minds. Because normalizing the act of sex and the conversation around it is how we create a comfortable, safe environment for rural teens to seek help and seek health. So, let's talk about sex. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, you alluded to it actually in your speech, in your talk, but I'm wondering what we can learn from the way sex education is done in other countries.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, and that's actually one of the things that we're kind of diving into in this literature review is there's a huge dearth of research in the US about how comprehensive sex education is done and done well in comparison with traditional or abstinence-only sex education. But there are a lot of countries around the world, in Europe, in Asia, that are implementing comprehensive sex education curricula and who are currently conducting those studies to see how and why they work. So it's gonna be a deep dive and it's gonna take a while, but I do think that there's a lot we can learn from these countries about how we can implement this programming and implement it in a way where we can really, truly positively affect sexual health outcomes in teens.
Right. Do you, I understand that you have quite a connection with UC Davis. I was wondering if you're willing to share.
Yeah, absolutely. So I first toured UC Davis as a freshman in high school for a speaking competition, actually, through Future Farmers of America. And I decided when I walked on campus, it was like a gorgeous summer day. It was like 80 degrees. I come from where it gets like 75 is the hottest. So I was like already like, wow, this is awesome. And I kind of fell in love. And so I decided, I'm gonna apply. And if I get in, that's where I'm going. And luckily, I applied, I got in, and then I ended up accepting, which has been amazing. I went to undergrad here for 4 years as a global disease biology major, took a couple years off, worked as a staff member as the global disease biology advisor, and then I did my master's in public health here last year, and now I just started my Ph.D. program here in 2021.
Determination,
so.
right there. You share also that you have 3 cats.
I do.
And I understand they have odd names.
They have fun names. I love that we have like an animal theme all going on here. Yes, so I have 3 cats. 2 of them are breakfast food themes. So we have Butters and Toast, which amazing. When, my husband always tells me if, but when I get another cat, it will also be breakfast food themed. But we adopted all of our cats from either the Orphan Kitten Project through UC Davis or from a shelter. And one of them came with a name that we just couldn't change. And his name is Dr. Professor Stripey Pants. And I was like, as I too wish to be a Dr. Professor, we will not be changing that name to a breakfast food theme. So he's sticking with it.
All right. Is there... can you tell us something unusual or unexpected about you? Something that maybe like the persons you work with wouldn't know?
Ooh, sure. So I have a very cool birthday. I was actually born on February 29th, which means I'm a leap year baby. So I am 6.5 this year. So that's kind of fun.
All right. That's unusual. And what do you do outside of work? I mean, work-life balance, that's also been a running theme.
Yeah, great question. Like everyone, what is work-life balance? Yeah, so I love spending time with my husband and my cats, obviously, but I also love wine tasting, if we're being really honest. Love a good wine tasting. And we love hiking and just spending time outdoors. We love trivia. I love a good trivia night. Find me at those. And yeah, just spending time with my friends and trying to, like you said, have balance outside of spending all my time at a computer every day.
That's cool. Can you tell us, this topic that you work with? I mean, I asked this for a few other speakers. It's always interesting to me how you go to that topic, right? How you decide this is what I want to work on.
Yeah, so as someone who grew up in a very rural community, we had more cows than people where I grew up. And I also only had 2 sessions of sex ed, one day in 7th grade and one day in 11th grade. And then they were like, okay, bye, off into the world you go. And, I've kind of always been interested in how that affects the rates of STIs and STDs that we see, of teen pregnancy and birth rates that we see. And when I came to UC Davis for public health, I was like, how can I incorporate this into, what I want to do? And so as I explored different classes, we had the opportunity to do kind of mini literature reviews, and I stumbled onto this topic and realized that there's not much out there on this research and this topic. And I was like, well, that's why we're here, right? We're here to do the research that other people aren't doing and get it out there and make it important. So that was kind of my goal in getting into this, and I'm hoping that I can take it farther and use it for my dissertation and kind of get more into it and get more information out there about this, because I do feel like it's very important and it can change a lot of lives.
Right, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.